So you have the pulse of the city. Do the Denver Broncos need a quarterback in the upcoming draft?
Yes, they do. And here's the way I look at it. It's like searching for Bobby Fischer. That was something that John Elway has been doing for a long period of time, and he hasn't been able to find a quarterback. Anytime you have quarterbacks in the division like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, and he was sensational in his rookie season, you need someone under center that the defense can believe in, and you know that he can move the chains and he's well competent in what he can actually do. We haven't had that in a long time, so the Broncos definitely need to go find a quarterback in this upcoming draft.
I agree with you completely, Nick. Why hasn't Drew Lock worked out with the Denver Broncos, in your opinion?
Well, the biggest problem with Drew is confidence. Melvin Gordon said it last year towards the end of the season in one of his post-game interviews. When you look at Drew Lock, he has all the skill sets that you want in a quarterback. He is mobile, he has the arm, but he lacks the confidence. In today's NFL, you need to make sure your quarterback has that confidence. And when the defense looks into his eyes, they believe that if they're down, he can rally them back. We haven't really seen that. And he's been a guy, when I charted plays, that he only looks at the right side of the field, maybe 85% of the time. But not being able to see the whole field and the lack of confidence has the Broncos in a very tough position when it comes to quarterbacks.
Absolutely. That's a great breakdown of Drew Lock. I echo that completely. Is there a guy in this draft in the first round, Lance Fields? Is there a guy, Nick, that you would love to see the Denver Broncos, whether draft at 9 or trade up and go get?
Well, the guy that I would like to see, Adam, is Justin Fields. I've had a chance to watch him play and talk to a couple of people at Ohio State. This guy has everything. Obviously, we've seen, what he could do in his pro days. He ran a 4.4. He has arm talent, but being able to manipulate the pocket and put pressure on the defense, that is something that we're seeing in the modern day quarterbacks. Drew Lock isn't that guy, but whether it's Fields or Lance, it adds another dynamic to the offense that the Broncos haven't seen around here in a while.
Absolutely. Fields will be great with those weapons they have in Denver. I love that. Now, Devante Smith reportedly checked in at 6 feet, 166 pounds at his Indy medical check. Now, the size, the weight, it doesn't bother me. But, Nick, as a former defensive back, are you licking your chops to face a guy like this? If you're an NFL club, is the height, the weight most especially, cause for concern?
It's not a cause for concern, Adam. It is a bunch of hot air. We've seen small wide receivers actually make plays in this league. Devontae Adams, he's a big guy. But when you look at Stephon Diggs, you look at Deshaun Jackson, these are small body wide receivers that can take the top off the defense. Robbie Anderson is another wide receiver that comes to mind. Not really big, but can get in and out of their breaks, and it's all about explosion. A guy's size, how much he weighs, shouldn't factor in. And for me, I am glad that I don't play in today's game because I don't have to cover these guys. So I am definitely happy, and any team would be happy to have a guy like Devante Smith.
I'm with you completely. I think that Smith is going to be a star in the National Football League. Okay, so you're glad you don't have to cover these guys in modern-day NFL. With that as a backdrop here, Nick, how do you cover a guy like Kyle Pitts? I mean, this guy to me is a unique mix of size and strength and speed. I think he's going to be a sensational NFL ball player. How would you deal with him?
Well, first and foremost, understanding that Kyle Pitts, just like Travis Kelce, they call them tight ends. Well, let's call them what they really are. Big wide receivers. And the first thing you have to do is take away the size, take away the speed by winning at the line of scrimmage. Majority of the time when you watch some of these college games, when you're watching Kyle Pitts against defenders, they open up the gate. You can't allow him to get that type of space. You have to force him to really work his feet at the line of scrimmage. And then as he gets a feel with the route, then you put your hands on it. But that is the way that you cover some of these, not tight ends, but big wide receivers in today's NFL.
Very well said. As a former safety, what makes a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence so difficult to game plan for?
Well, how smart he is. When you watch him in a lot of his games, he never gets rattled. He's always poised, and he's calm in the pocket. I go back to when I was coaching with the 49ers. I got a chance to watch him up close and personal in the 2018 national championship. In that game, he was 44-16 over Nick Saban and Alabama. And Trevor Lawrence is the type of quarterback that he's always going to put you in a position to win games because of smarts and ball placement, and he's always well prepared. When you face a quarterback like that, it makes it real difficult on a defense.
Nick, assessing the AFC West, you referenced the genius of Justin Herbert earlier. Can the Chargers make a run at the Chiefs in the division?
Absolutely. They already have the quarterback position already solidified with Justin Herbert. And the wild thing is when we first saw Justin Herbert, he got his first start against Kansas City, almost won the game. And now as the season went on, the confidence level started to build. So being in the offense for the second year with that defense expected to be much better than it was last year, I expect, Justin Herbert and the Chargers to be right there neck and neck at the end of it with the Kansas City Chiefs.